Yeah.
We gotta make sure that we got the
Available funds.
funds.
That's what he wants to know? Or you asking, you're telling me that? Well, I mean, did they tell us they would pay up to 150?
But we have to pay it first, right?
Talking about the city of Metropolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do the roof, but we're waiting on the hospital board.
Well, I mean, if whoever did it would give us 30 days, couldn't we talk to the mayor and make sure we could get that money, or we wouldn't have to borrow it or something to pay it? Or you gonna go with that plan B?
We'll let Gary talk to that.
It's just a little.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then
it
next
may
parcel-
not even be on the
On the
roll,
next,
because it ain't worth squat.
Gerald, I got 8 names for you. None of them say basic.
Lightning hit it yesterday.
Okay, that's,
You want me to step up?
Yeah, go ahead, it's your time. It's all right.
Time to shine.
No. Just wanted to kind of give you an update on my visit at the conference that they had for county officials. Got to listen to Governor Rauner and a few legislators speak. And that was kind of interesting that Governor Rauner admitted that he didn't realize how hard it was to work with politics. From his standpoint, and I'm not going to quote him verbatim, but he basically said, you know, I just can't understand how we can spend more money when you take in, and it's okay.
I'm wondering that myself.
I can't argue that point. And then I got an opportunity to listen to the legislators, which I thought was very interesting, how they're trying to utilize their legislation to make themselves look good. And they had one bill that they submitted that had a vote of 118-1 that would increase all exemptions, and anytime anybody does something like that, all that does is lower the taxable assessed values and makes everybody's tax rates go up. So what the public doesn't understand, it's a shame. They make this thing very complicated, but they always want to make themselves look good and say, well, I tried.
Yeah.
You know. So I thought that was kind of interesting, that was some of their take. And of course, most people just sat there and just kind of, you're trying to help. It's like,
Yeah.
no, you're not. You're trying to make the situation worse. Be nice if we could all get a bigger exemption and,
Sure.
you know, not have to pay taxes and push the burden out there, who's going to end up paying it. And of course, the elephant in the room, nobody would say anything, is until you fund schools differently, you're going to pay their property tax.
Yeah.
And that's where the bulk, and people just don't understand it. And matter of fact, I had some people from Joppa, that seems to be, a lot of people are asking questions. And all I'm doing is directing people to websites. You know, the state of Illinois has some great information online. People have to do is print it off and read it. And, you know, I don't make it my business to tell people tax rates and stuff. I just don't do that. If there's something about value and exemptions, then I'll be happy to help them. So anyway, you may get some feedback from the public, just kind of giving you a heads up that, you know, again, I can't speak for Juanita, but I think she probably feels the same way I do. I'm not going to sit there and give people information that all I can do is print information out for them. So, and the other thing that I thought was interesting, the Department of Revenue had about 15 different people there that spoke. That was pretty interesting in talking about their systems, and kind of one thing I took away from there is, gee, they decided to move forward with technology and they're trying to change how they're doing things. One of the big topics of discussion was MyDeck. Right now, there's 25 counties that are now doing MyDeck. She said, Rhonda McCombs is the one that spearheads that with the Illinois Department of Revenue, and she said there's about 60 other counties now interested additionally. It's common. It's something that is going to be different, and what it'll do is it'll put the burden out there on the title companies to enter this information. My big plus thing that I really like about it is if they don't enter it right, they're not going to accept it. Plus, the tax stamps. And again, I don't deal with that end of things.
Yeah.
But what I do know is,
They would do all that for us.
well, and again, I don't know how that works, but as far as receiving the P-Tax 203 forms, you still get them, but it'll just be the method of how they do it. And then, and again, I can't speak for the clerk's portion. I just know from the assessment standpoint that instead of entering into the current system, we'd be entering it into my deck eventually, the assessment information, because that's something we do for the state, is we enter information to help their process.
Well, Gary, how do we talk to them about?
Well, that's gonna be up to the clerk's office and, you know, but again, it's common. I mean, it's common. It's just a matter of when they're gonna force it. Because they're trying to do away with some of these, the equipment and stamps and how they do some of that stuff. But it was pretty interesting to listen to the statements. Glad to hear them coming around to newer technology, because for the longest, when I first got here, I could never figure out how they were coming up with information. Come to find out, they were using an old system from the 1980s.
Oh,
And it just,
yeah. Behind time.
yeah, very much so. Next thing I want to talk to you about, I had these up here last week. I don't know if you guys still have them or not, but one of the things was the 3-year average. Just wanted to kind of tell you, my 3-year average is 33.89, 33.45, 33.74, for a total of average of 33.69. You know how in that factor that everybody thinks it's better to get a 1?
Mm-hmm.
I disagree. It doesn't mean you're doing your job. It just means that the state doesn't have to put on a factor. But if you can see, that's where we need to be, is at 33.33. I can get a 1.
Yeah.
If that's what everybody wants. If that makes everybody think I'm doing my job, okay. But otherwise, we'll get a factor of 0.9893, which is, again, until I get all my assessment changes, I may be, the numbers may fall in so that I do get a 1 without doing a factor. I'll just have to wait and see. But I do also have my sales ratio study and the median level again, and then the COD is pretty good, 24.41, and the coefficient of dispersion was 40.83, which is pretty good. Also, just to kind of give you an idea, I went through and printed off 2015 CODs and coefficient of concentration, and I highlighted the worst 15 and the worst 10. We're not there. We're not on that. You guys don't have this.
Oh,
We're not on that list, but I thought it was kind of interesting. Some of the counties that were where I come from was number 2 worse on their coefficient of concentration. I thought that was interesting, and 88 worse on the coefficient of dispersion. Some of the counties around this area are on the worst 15 and worst 10. It's again, I know most people don't understand what those numbers represent, but it has to do with uniformity, which equals equity and fairness in property tax in the end. The higher the concentration, the coefficient of concentration, the closer I have it to 33.33. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was the farm values. I got them out. We're going to have a farmland meeting coming up here in June. But just so everybody knows, the dollar went up $26.46 an acre. So it's going to be, which means it's going to be a higher assessed value, and there's still going to be farmers not going to be happy. But again, I think you're going to see that in the future go the other direction, because it's based on a 5-year average, and there's 3 or 4 good years in these numbers. That's the University of Illinois does that study. But I just kind of want to get you a heads up, because the lowest PI of 82 is going from $76.50 an acre to $102.96 an acre. And again, this is generated by the state. This isn't generated by me. And then the last thing I needed to talk to you about was this, the bids on the tearing down the property. And I got 2 bids. One's for $49,000 from Mock Construction Excavating, and one is for $16,500 from Sean Freeman Contractor.
They bid on the same project?
Yeah, tearing down 3 houses. So again, we need to move forward. I did get an email to Ron Davis, and he's like, Gary, you guys need to get this done, and before we run into another problem. I do know there's some concerns about that portion. It's supposed to be on a 75-25%, and the IDNR was supposed to step in with 25%. There's still some question on whether they're going to do that or not. If not, we're going to be responsible for 25% of the total.
So we're responsible for 25% of 16.5?
No. we're gonna
Responsible
be,
100%.
at this point, we need to do it, and we're gonna be responsible for the whole thing, because they've already paid out over 200,000. 25% of that's 50. I mean, I can apply for us to get, reimbursed, but I think we're gonna have a problem at some point. When we go to close out this grant, I think we're gonna run into some issues,
Why wouldn't we?
because the state's changed the rules. And I think they're gonna make us responsible for 25%, so we're gonna have to prove up we paid 25%,
But to show that we paid up to 50,000.
basically, yeah. And right now, we haven't got anywhere near that.
So this person could tear down 3 houses and everything for 16.5,
Mm-hmm.
total for 3.
Mm-hmm. That's the total for 3. He's got Group A listed, and that's what his bid is based on. It doesn't say each for a piece, it's total. Here, you need to go look at that. I know the address.
Do you think does that guy know that it's really this address?
Yeah, I made sure they understood it.
Just to make sure.
We don't want to turn down.
No, I know.
That could be a problem.
Yeah, that could be a major problem and again, depending on, you want me to contact him, I'll make sure he knows the correct addresses.
Yeah.
Every house, I want to come see you before you go out and tear anything down, just to be safe.
That'd be something.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I think that would be a good policy to have is before anybody tears anything down, I want to see it.
Gerald already seen it?
Yeah.
You've already seen it?
The bid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You seen it? I thought I had it in there in a package from last week, so, anyway. So I just need you guys to tell me what to do, and I'll just move forward, and
Well, do we need to put that on the agenda to
Probably.
approve that next week? Okay.
probably be best to do it that way, but
The way we did it legally, or
Officially.
Officially.
because like I said, I apologize, I didn't get on the agenda.
That's fine. So we'll put it on the agenda for next week to make a decision on one of those 2
Bids.
bids.
Awesome.
Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah.
Like I said, the only other thing I can tell you is, and I gotta look at my budget one more time. I'm gonna publish, I think, in August, which last year I published at the end of September. So I keep moving everything up, but in the process of moving everything up, I may have 2 years of publication
Billing in the same
in the same,
fiscal year.
yeah, in the same fiscal year. So I'm,
May have to adjust.
yeah, I may have to adjust that. I know that when I was looking at my next year's budget, I was, even further down the year, I was looking at it going, wait a minute, I need to make sure I'm submitting enough, because I think we're a little bit light this year. It's hard to know, because again, we have it divided into 4 parts, but I never know for sure how many, I just assume we try to keep it around 5,000, and we do. But like I said, I think we're gonna get double hit, and I'm thinking next year, so I need to maybe adjust my budget for that next year. Okay, and like I said, I think the more we move this tax cycle up, the sooner we can get information out to the public, the better. And like I said, I'm looking to have everything wrapped up for this 17-18 year early. Ahead of schedule, more in line with what the statute says. Nothing else? You guys have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
I got an aisle last 2 that we've already talked about.
What's that?
I had run into you.
We need 2, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Well, were you guys flying? Okay.
I'll run into him somewhere.
I think Chad Murray may actually, if the city let him on,
Yeah.
4 hours.
She don't have some kind of conflict. Well, yeah, that's true. They meet in the morning too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have to ask him, let him check into it or something.
And do you know that top Steve?
I know who he is.
That's all I know.
Did anybody read the minutes? I never got a,
I read them. They're good.
was that a second?
That is from what week?
Week before last,
Yeah,
correct?
May 2nd.
Yeah, they're good to me.
Jason, did you have anyone you wanted to add to this list, or you want to talk to somebody?
There's two people that I'm going to talk to, but I looked at your list yesterday, it looks really good to me.
Okay, is one of them on this list, or?
No,
Okay. Well,
but we need to try to get that
I'd
done
like
next
to do that
week.
next week if we could.
Okay,
I haven't heard back from Reed, so.
okay. Let's go from there, yeah. John, look at this again. A lot of times, John, can we get those bills reduced? I don't see where he's got those reduced yet. A hospital bill, a lot of times he'll mark a line and get those bills reduced. That's still original. If you look at the next
That's
page.
the original amount.
Original amount. I think we
Could be.
we might need to ask him to look at that.
Who you gonna ask?
John.
Oh,
Chief.
Coleman?
Yeah, a lot of times he can get that reduced.
Okay. Were you gonna say, you got me to say
I'll just
something?
we'll just mark something on the bill and I can take over to John after I leave.
Okay.
If you want. I just didn't know.
Um, Did you ever understand about these rabies tags? I should ask Wayne.
He's coming in today, isn't he?
Who?
Or she is. It's on the agenda.
Yeah.
At 10 a.m.
So.
I'm not sure about it.
We got a few other things on my list here we need to talk about.
Spit them out.
Well,
Are they making you nervous?
Hmm?
Are they making you nervous?
Just need to get it done. I'll take these down there to get this out of the way.
Don't forget, get you some coffee while you're down.
They got full pot?
If they do, they just made it.
Well, you talking about the one from last week?
Should've been the week before,
The week
probably,
before,
but I don't even know
May
where they're at.
2nd.
Gerald's let's count, don't it, Gerald?
I'll look at the front there. I don't have one to do it from.
Payroll.
120,000 after payroll.
Yes.
Where'd you get all that money?
All that came in yesterday and this morning, so.
Wow.
Dana, we're behind on our payment to the, back to the county.
Well, yeah, we are, but we'll be able to make some of them today. And then once, you know, when we start collecting again we probably need to pay more while we have the money.
Mhm.
That way we can pay less when we're
Yeah.
not collecting, so.
Yeah.
And we'll be good.
Okay.
And the auditors will be here. I called Sandy and let her know, and some of the other auditors, I think I got them all, to let them know that they'll be here Monday. And I'm sure they won't need your stuff right out of the gate, but.
Well, did we take this back down?
But you can if you want to,
I'll
buddy.
have to have a cut roughly.
Anything else?
I will too.
Yeah.
Jeff, you got anything for us?
Nope, I got nothing.
All right, thank you.
We're good.
All right.
Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome. You guys have a good day.
Is Christina here today?
Yeah. So she'll be training.
Oh,
Yeah.
she is. I just didn't know how much we had to build. We could try to knock something.
Quite a few, I don't know exactly, but
Alright.
I know there's a
Surely not.
2 or 3 folders full.
She just training today or all week?
Today, tomorrow, and Thursday.
Christina will be.
Like I say, I've got Cheryl training too, me and Lynn will just work on the recording as it comes in.
You just have one juvenile, detention center down there, or is there more than one?
I don't know how many they've got in there right now.
Okay. What do they charge a day, you know?
A bunch, isn't it?
It may be like $200 a day. And more, they send them there, it's the last resort.
Those are all done. You got
Yeah,
it
that's
done.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I
see
think
here.
the one you must have signed this week. I'm going through
It's
it.
$200 a day, and then transportation fee 42 and mileage, so actually costs us $314 for one day. So they just put them in there for one day, is that,
No, they can hold them a lot longer than that.
because he was, juvenile was put in on 4-4 and released on 4-5.
It's called, I don't know, it's a female, I think just one day.
Yeah. I talked to Patrick on that one gentleman over there, had that medical bill. I think we could put a claim against their property on that. We're
Good.
working on that.
Yeah.
Joe, do you want the sheriff down
Yes, I do.
there? Okay.
Yeah.
More now, the price is right.
Thank you, Ted.
This must be last week's here.
Somebody run into the door over there. Commercial, double, 475.
I think that was a Sally Port door.
Yeah.
Door's 25 years old, it's just keeping it going takes a lot.
Yeah.
Did they replace it, or they put a new motor on it, or
Like motors.
is it like a garage door opener type motor, or is it a lot nicer than that?
No, it's bigger than that.
Pretty good sized door, isn't it?
A few items left in the building that has never been replaced, and we're basically gonna have to be.
Was they able to get that leak above Becky Riggs fixed, you know? Gerald, you know on that?
What was
That leak above Becky?
I talked to, what is his name? Dwayne.
Yeah.
Hopkins, and he said he'd take care of it.
Okay.
And I told him, he didn't know where the office was, but I told him to see the guard, and tell him, and he told him where we thought the leak was. And he may get there today, I don't know.
Think some of that big vent cover,
That's what we thought. Is that a motor in there or something?
well, no, that's where that one heating and air unit is. If you go
Up in that crawl space,
Yeah,
right?
the top floor,
Mhm.
walk east, there's a doorway, that's where that unit's at.
I took a flashlight, I never did see it up there, but. You think it's condensation?
Once before, was it last summer, it was leaking in the tray.
The drain was screwed up on the tray or something.
Tray overflow.
You think that's what it is?
I think the rain did this, but I don't.
And so that, the condensate just come with the air conditioner, wouldn't it, wouldn't be heat? They haven't had it on probably very much. I wouldn't think it'd be.
The newer heating units have those condensers on it where they can bring in water, but I don't know if that one does or not. I don't almost say it was rain.
I would think so. 15 inches of rain could do that.
Yeah. I bet it's too.
Sprung a leak out my way too.
Yeah.
Mine too, my roof leak.
Oh, Lord.
And they're still getting water down in probation through the door. It's coming through the door and running into the bathroom.
6 months ago, we talked to Barnhill, didn't we? He'd be there the following Monday. What do you want to do?
Try to get somebody else.
I mean, the outside door frame is just about right.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we talked about that then, you know.
It's gotta be fixed, or the door's gonna fall off.
So it's, who do you think we could get that's, just talk to another contractor here in town? Okay. Think you'll see somebody at lunch one day, so many places you hang out?
If that's what you want, I'll find somebody to fix it.
Yeah, we need it, I mean. Try to make it right.
You're the subject of the conversation. Is your hair dry? We just worried about, somebody said you're getting leaked on up there.
We want to make sure we get you fixed there.
I ruined about half a dozen of my files.
Oh, you can't even blow dry them out, can you?
No, it's sticking.
Oh, right here.
Do you need pin too or not?
Of course. We've got a claim here for petty cash, so we can mail out abatement letters.
Just getting mine, I got 3 or 4 of them. First. Pay my end of the month.
I'm cutting.
Are you short-handed?
No,
Okay, I thought maybe you did that.
I'm not on the agenda though.
Oh, okay. Well, that's illegal, we shouldn't be.
Well, now I shouldn't even be in here, should I?
You're welcome anytime.
Thank you very much.
Don't let him talk to you like that.
Okay, thank you.
We'll get those taken care of.
Anything, Sheriff, on your bills that you, I talked to
Yeah.
John yesterday.
Page 2, first one. It's gonna be in next week.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Can you go by the, and just look, keep looking at it in the showroom?
I've got money in the LESO fund that I can pay for it. And you guys can reimburse the LESO fund when the money comes in. We've still got money in it, so that's not a problem.
Yeah, I talked to John yesterday, there was a couple that, he needs, Ellis Plumbing.
do you have a copy of that one?
You drilled the wrong one.
She's on
This
that.
one is highlighted.
Oh, she's on
Well, I
that
talked
plumbing
to
one.
John and,
Okay. Well, you
I told
can
him I'd try to
highlight
get it
whatever
worked
it
out.
says, that's what I figured, if there's something else.
yeah, that'd be in it. Yeah, and then Ellis Plumbing, I think should have been on there, should have.
The plumbing one for $5,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, she cut that this morning, I think.
Okay.
Backflow valve.
Yeah.
Heck, that's for 4 or 5 months ago, it seemed like, didn't it?
February. I guess,
That's not as far as I thought.
that highlighted one, you give that to Gerald?
Yeah, Gerald, change with me. That's the one Sandy wanted you to have.
Oh, okay. You got your hotel pool this morning?
Deal?
You got a lot of clients, they just love you.
Keep coming back.
Return customers. Just because you got
Hope they
nice,
don't.
you got a nice place over there, ain't you?
I was gonna ask you on that Durango, do you want the corner to use that some still or not? Do you need to keep that?
I told him if he needed it, emergency come up, he could use it. But like right now, the guy's in the academy, he's been driving it back and forth, so it's gonna be like a spare car for us.
Do we have any additional spares besides that? When you get this other car, what do you plan on doing?
That goes to Bullock. His car, depends on what kind of shape it is. I mean, if we keep it for spare, we might give out the Durango.
Because, what's the corner,
Mine.
not him, but he's got,
Yeah, the deputy.
the other gentleman. He's using his personal car a lot, he said. His
You
dad
mean
was an
the
alderman.
two
Gary?
deputies in the coroner will all have personal cars?
No, this thing Gary, I think she's using his personal car a lot, you know. And I told him I'd try to help him out, see if we could find him something. How about Deming on that ESD car that we set over there?
I asked Scott the other day, I don't think he ever gave me an answer about that white Charger, because I've never been with it or not. It's been sitting there over a year.
He said Gary could use it. Him. He said he didn't want to. Drive his own.
But wouldn't a Durango fit the coroner's office better than the Charger, or does it matter?
Oh, yeah, I mean, as far as hauling equipment, so it would.
Okay. All right.
That's something we.
Then maybe next month we figure something out.
Okay.
Okay.
What, Jason, do they have so much business down there that it takes 3 cars to do that job?
Well, they only have one car. Well, they got the van.
They got the van, they got Keith's car,
That's right.
and now they can get another one?
I think the coroner always keeps the Ford Explorer, Mike.
Now, when he first took that job, he was loaded, but we still have as many deaths and all as we did.
I don't know. Gary just asked me, Jason, if y'all come across a used car that no one's using, let me know, and I can use it. I said, okay.
Sure. If you come across a used tractor that you only gonna use, it don't have to be new.
Yeah, that's happened before.
I'm a beggar, I'm not choosing. Probably go by the Savage.
Is there a dollar amount that you want to put a threshold on that door down there to work?
I don't know, I mean, whatever Jeff and Gerald think.
I mean, I know the door frame is rotted, I don't know if it's got in,
Is it a
They're
steel
gonna have to
door?
get back and get some meat somewhere.
I don't know if it's steel or not, but I do know at the bottom of the inside door where the sheetrock is, it's gone. I don't know how far back in there it goes.
$1,000 should cover all that, wouldn't you think?
Well, for a person, but you gotta take that times 3 to 5 for the public work.
Yeah.
Those people down there doing that work, can't they do that?
I don't know who's doing it.
You're talking about down in the basement?
Yeah, well, Tanner. He's a union carpenter,
I'd make sure it's
but he's
completely
working
separate from
weekend.
what else is going on.
Do what?
Completely separate from what else is going on. We don't want to tie that in.
Will you be down
You
there
know,
today at
we're
all?
doing work for the judge.
just
I mean, but yeah, I agree, he could do it,
Get the price
as long as it's
before you
not-
come.
Well,
On the
you know,
same
I mean,
day.
we don't have to have it done tomorrow, do we?
No.
It's been that way for a year, hasn't it?
Or 5.
It was like that when they moved in up there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Guess just check around and see what kind of price you can get. Did we get a price from Tanner when you started off with Judge Jackson down the basement? Know what that's gonna cost?
No idea.
You get with you, Gerald, on that?
No? Didn't hear a word from nobody about what we're supposed to do or what's it gonna cost. Stacy Turner and I was down there, I think, Friday, I think. And they was working on it, and Joe was down there, but he's on the other side, showing them something, so I didn't get to talk to him. They've already got the jury box moved. And, that's where Larry sit, I guess. They're getting it down.
Did they tell you how far the wall's going down? No.
No,
All the way, the whole length of the room, all the way. That's what, one of the proposals I heard.
Okay.
no, what is it for, Ted? Do you know?
We're trying to stop people from coming in and directly talking to the judge or going up to Patrick when he's at the bench. They want him to go all the way down to the end and try and come back.
Oh, you mean people trying to talk to them while they're having court.
Yeah, when they walk through that door and they see the judge, they'll holler at him, talk to him, they'll go to Patrick's desk, put their hand on him and start talking to him.
I understand. He told me just for that first column there, but he may have rethought that.
I've heard three versions, so I know
And
which
that
one.
would put them now almost in a jury box,
I'll check on the door for you.
I think
All
I
right.
should.
Take care. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you? I heard Joe's gonna be at, they're starting that project today, aren't they? That's what he's telling me last night.
Yeah. Busy on it when I come in, right there at Country Club and North Avenue.
I heard.
Is that where they're gonna start?
I assume so. That's where they were.
I thought they started in a
Mhm.
lake.
Well, they may have, and, because I don't think they're milling that much, so they may have gotten all that way since 7 o'clock. I don't know.
All the equipment was,
Kennedy there.
yeah.
I don't know who owns it now.
I don't either. Yeah, what was his first name? Mike.
Well, tell us something good.
Beautiful day. Sun shining, a
It
little
is
breeze
nice.
blowing.
Beautiful weekend, wasn't it?
You did good. Flowers are growing.
Crops are drying out.
We can't.
Until
Trying to.
tomorrow.
Is it supposed to rain tomorrow?
Tomorrow night, Thursday and Friday.
I'll plant this evening.
Yeah.
Just 20% tomorrow.
I guess
Yeah.
I'll do it anyway.
Yeah, go for it.
It won't grow in the bag. Have you ever heard the guys say anything about how much damage we got on the roads?
You mean from like flooding and
Yeah.
stuff? I don't think.
Not too bad.
Not all that I know of. We had a couple of calls out, and I think that was just put a barricade out, and, you know, very
It's kind of
minor.
small stuff.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, that water down there for you, is this coming up?
No, it's leaving. You see, the water still across the road at my place this morning. Maybe by this evening, to be honest. It's getting small across the ground.
Oh. When I was down in Jopp, I went down there and cut my dirt, it's up down there, even more.
Well, the river's still coming up, I'm sure.
Is it,
I would assume. I'm
Yeah.
sending water
is
that
that
way.
just, that
Yeah.
rainwater you've got there?
Yeah. You don't have anybody you know with a ski boat, do you?
I know some people, yeah, yes.
If we can't plant, we're gonna ski.
Well, yeah. You gotta do
Might be
something.
more jet ski or something. Come to jet ski.
Well, we
That
got
might be
enough
more
room.
fun.
I got hundreds of acres of lake.
Yeah. Swamp boat, that sounds fine.
Well, me,
Hanging on the back.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
couple buddies and I had discussed that, and we decided it's probably best for our safety if we don't buy something like that.
Maybe a pontoon.
We've already
They
had a
don't have
pontoon.
much
in my-
drag.
We're gonna have to have something with slow movement, cause us and speed's not safe.
Well, that's a fun
That's
thing.
no
Pontoon
fun.
doesn't have that much
That's what I'm
speed.
saying.
Yeah, pontoon would be.
We would
gorgeous.
have fun, but somebody
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
get hurt if we get one of them fan boats. Here, those are keys, I haven't counted them all yet.